Hello, welcome to our backyard. A little rainy and a little cool today, but that's the way it's going to be in the mountains, and that's where we're going next. Up into the Bighorn Mountains, up past Buffalo, and into an area called Ten Sleep. I think it had some history back with the Indians, and I think that might be where their scouting parties often camped out as they hunted. We're on a pre-hunt, and our whole idea is to check out these Rocky Mountains and the Bighorn Mountains, which are all part of the same mountain stream that cuts America in half, for a elk hunt, mule deer, pronghorn antelope hunt. But that's still a month out. What we hope to do this time is maybe get a few prairie dogs, squirrels, rabbits, that sort of thing. If you like this video, be sure and give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to leave a comment, know that I answer them. Certainly subscribe so you don't miss any future ones. And if you don't find this to be what you needed, look for a small picture of me to the side on your phone or your laptop, where you can click it and get to our whole channel, our whole library of over 50 videos where we talk about accuracy, where we talk about pellets, trail cameras, you name it. A subject is in there somewhere that I know you'll enjoy and learn from, all in an effort to be airgun sharp. Now let's get up into those Bighorn Mountains. I think one of the reasons the Armada is one of my favorites is that this was actually the first PCP rifle I ever bought. I think another Crossman, that 357 mag Bulldog, was second. But I wouldn't sell either one of them today. Just good, accurate air guns. Now I have to tell you what happened here just minutes ago. We've been doing some target practicing. We're in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming, and we're just doing a pre-hunt survey of the land so we know where to come in October and November. And a bull elk was giving his call behind us, and he was thrashing the trees with his horns. At first, I just wanted to get behind a tree and wish my powder rifles were with me or something that would knock them down. I've actually got a new Hatson Bully 45 caliber that I'd like to try on an elk. But at any rate, we waited and the sound was no more. So we're going to just continue with what we were going to do here at this particular elevation. I think we're up something close to about 8,000 feet here. But let me tell you about this Armada. I'll tell you the good and the bad. First of all, this is 25 caliber, a nice magazine, looks just like this one, and it goes in. I put a center point scope on it, but this was not the scope that comes with it. You can get one of these with the scope and the bipod. I don't recommend that you buy that one. I don't think the scope is any good, and the bipod isn't any good either. One of Benjamin's claim to fame on this gun is that the mag pull accessories work on this gun, and I'm sure they are. I'm also pretty sure these aren't mag pull accessories that are on it now. In other words, the gun is adaptable, but they've put their own. And why do I say that? And that's because this stock can be a little klutzy. I've got it frozen now where I want it. The handle, not the best handle, certainly not the one that was on the AR-15 that I had in Vietnam. This scope is a ZOS, and what's nice is we go clear out here to a shaded front so that sun can't glare onto it. The scope really ends at about here. We certainly have scope caps that cover this. We have a luminous spot here where the battery goes into the scope, and so we get that early morning and that late evening, and that's really where in the the big deer, the big elk, the big bear come out, is those early mornings, and you want a lighted reticle if you can, so that you can see them very clearly and put the crosshairs right where you want them in that early morning, late evening light. Of course, over here we have our other adjustments so that we can zero right in for distance. This, of course, does the 2 crosshairs, but over here you can see numbers where I can then, after I get the gun sighted in for different distances. This Armada 25, I sight this gun in for right around 40 yards, and the pellet lifts up just a hair. The crosshairs on the scope and the barrel shooting upward slightly allow those 2 lines to cross right at about 40-45 yards, and then they come right back together again at about 85 yards. And so I can get something up close, I can get something far out there, 85 yards if I want. I've shot some woodchucks, very hard, tough skin. I've shot some woodchucks with this gun. This gun just doesn't fail me. Let me talk about some things that I'm not too excited about. Well, this happens to be one of the early versions. I've had this gun for a number of years. And early Benjamin, well, first of all, they just lifted this metal part of the gun out of a Marauder. And a Marauder may be one of the best air guns out there on the market today, and dropped it into this AR-15 type stock. But it's the same gun as the Marauder. Well, I think of late, and I can't quote on the Marauder, I don't have one, I haven't been shooting one lately, but I can tell you that on the new ones, I don't think they're offering 2 premium barrels. You used to be able to get this gun with a Green Mountain barrel if you paid a few dollars more, and even a Walther barrel if it paid even a few dollars more than that. I don't see those offers anymore, so it leads me to believe that maybe you can't get a nice premium barrel with this gun. That's great if you can get it. Maybe we'll all be shopping for some good used ones if that statement is true. The gun is got a 20-inch barrel, and that's a deal killer for me. If I can't get at least 20 inches out of an air gun, I'm not really interested in it. I just don't get the accuracy when I have barrels that are shorter than 20 inches. This barrel happens to be a Green Mountain barrel in this particular 25 caliber, and it's rifled and it's choked at the end. And that choke means it gets, I don't know, I'm just talking out loud, but maybe 24 caliber, 23 caliber, but it shrinks just a bit. And when it shrinks down, that just makes that oomph of the gases behind, the air behind the pellet, to go out even faster. So this gun's shooting right around 900 feet per second. You can adjust the power if you want. You can adjust the trigger if you want. It takes a little bit, but you can, and it pretty much you have to take it out of this stock to do those things, but it's worth it. The gun is heavy, but there's something worse than that. It's front heavy. So this gun is really for some sort of a sit and stalk, sit and spot type of a shoot, rather than going through the woods using this nice foam sling on it. This gun can get heavy. But if you're sitting, oh my goodness, this gun is extremely accurate, extremely steady, and I like it. With my scope mounts, I've got extra Picanti rails that can help with different accessories. I've had every accessory you can imagine on this, laser dots and spotlights, but I've taken them off. They just added too much weight to this gun, I thought. Benjamin and Crossman, if they've done some changes to the gun, what they didn't do was change this bolt. This is really what a lot of people would refer to as a Generation 1 mechanism, rather than the lever action, which I'm just naming these things maybe as a Generation 2 type of accessory. Some people say they wish that it was bigger or longer to stick out better. Also, to get that pellet in, and I'll show you here what I'm talking about, when you cock it back, oh my goodness, you have to really pull, and then you have to push hard and down. Levers seem to take care of that. This bolt action makes both an extra exercise. Another thing is you've got to hold it back to put that magazine in there. Now you're fumbling with two hands and you've got it leaned up against a tree or a rock or a table or something to get that clip in, because this clip is not going to go in unless she's pulled back all the way that she possibly can. Other than that, oh my goodness, she's accurate. Let's show you just how accurate the gun is. I've hunted so many times out here in Wyoming. It's like a second home to me. 20 years in a row, 20 falls in a row out here for pronghorn, mule deer, antelope, and some prairie dogs when they got within range. Well, let's see if this Armada is zeroed in. I've got a target about 35 yards away. Well, I'm about 7 o'clock on that. We'll go up there and check it out in just a second. I'm about 7 o'clock, just on the edge of the bullseye. One of the things you have to be concerned with any gun, air or powder, when you're out west, and when you're up around 7, 8, 9,000 feet, is that the air is thinner. That means that the gun will have a little more velocity. It's hitting less air on its way to the target. That means it's going to have a little more velocity and maybe a little higher than normal. Secondly, though, when we fill it with gas, we have the same problem. We're filling it in with a little less dense air when we do that. So one of the things you've got to do is wherever you're out hunting, you're going to have to do, and you're into some altitude, you're going to have to do a little testing. I had some big red ants climbing on my right arm off of this tree. And so I pulled a shot. Now let's see if I can hit it, knowing what I'm up against. Well, I'm right on top of that other one. And from here, I'll go back to the, I sighted it again. Now I'm gonna go for that turkey. Right on the money. A good headshot. And now we'll try the bear for another headshot. Let's go see how I did. Well, you can see here on the target, the bullseye, I'm shooting a beautiful group. That's 2 rounds just off at 7 o'clock of this bullseye. Then I came down here, and with some big red, I think, fire ants on me, I pulled a shot here. But my second shot, well, it's not quite where you want it. You see the brain is where you want to hit that turkey, inside that green mark. Or you can hit that neck bone. And here I'm getting it right where that neck bone and that brain connect. So this would probably kill the turkey and bring him down. Aiming for these, though, that's a difficult shot. Shooting down here into the feathers and the body is just not going to do any good at all. They're just too big bone, too big down here. Now let's take a look at this bear down here. I told you that a headshot, in this case, that's actually where I was aiming. That's probably more of a neck shot, and that's what will help you with that bear, a black bear in these woods. I think the grizzlies, which are brown, are going to be more up into Montana. There's a few what we call a brown phase black bear, just a few of them in this area. but most of them are black. Lastly, I told you that we heard an elk bugle and the horns thrash behind us. And just take a look at that territory behind us right now, and you can see that that is what they like. Sometimes it's a little hard to determine what the weather's going to be like right here in Michigan. It's definitely hard in the mountains. Those storms can come in and get trapped in a canyon, not quite high enough to get over those mountains. And so when you ask anybody in the area, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow, they laugh at you. So if you do go to the mountains, be sure that you carry some light clothing, some medium weight clothing, and some heavy duty, because you'll need it. I remember taking Dr. Paula there once, and I sat her under a tree as I did a little scouting. And when I came back, you want to have 2 chest pockets when you hunt in the mountains, where you can put those heat warmers in them, plus 2 in the back, and a turtleneck where you can put one up around your Adam's apple or behind your neck. And for $5 a day, you'll stay toasty warm. And as I came up on that tree, I could see the steam coming off Paul. And I looked down under this pine tree. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I'm just fine." Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was just a preparation for the real hunts that are coming. Be sure you subscribe. Be sure you give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Be sure you comment. Know that I answer them. And if you didn't find anything useful, click that little round picture and you'll access our whole library of over 52 or 3 videos on a variety of subjects, from pellets to trail cameras to, oh, you name it. I've been at this now 2 years. There are a lot of subjects out there. And find the subject you really will be interested in and watch those videos. Till then, know that we're all in this together to be airgun sharp.